I'm fucking recording. Hello!
Like, I didn't know you were doing that.
Let's start off funny.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show, Egocast. At this point, all but 2 shows are uploaded, those being the last show and this show. So by the end of tomorrow, everything should be up and it'll be cool. We have 72 views now. Woo!
So hurry up and listen to them before they're gone.
How was your week?
Shitty. A lot of bad stuff happened.
Awesome.
Yeah. How was your week?
Mine was great. I got everything set up and working properly for doing video game Let's Play videos and crap like that to try and drive more people to
Traffic to
the page. Yeah, drive more traffic to the page so that maybe somebody will actually listen to this fucking podcast. It's funny, I've been listening to all the shows because I've been really trying hard to get them all out. And one thing I've noticed over time is that we're cussing less and less.
We are?
Yes, we are. We are because
Fuck.
You don't listen to the show.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. Fuck you. So, like, I think hey, we could be dirty and we can say whatever we want to and blah, 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 blah. I think that's starting to, like, wear off and calm down, and we're getting into more of a natural flow of things. So it's cool, and like the later shows.
That's good to know, fuckface.
Yeah, from like 13, from show 13 on, they've gotten to be really entertaining to me. Like 13, I still think is our best show because that had the chocolate moose cock commercial and a couple of other goofy things that were funny in it. Oh, the Jurassic Park bit. Where I was doing Jurassic Park lines.
Baby donut thing was my favorite.
Yeah. So that one would crack me up a lot. That's probably my favorite show of ours so far. But they've been getting steadily better and better and better. So I'm really excited. I'm happy that we're starting to hone our craft, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing video game movies and putting them up to get people to maybe want to watch and listen and so on. So I got all that finally set up. The fucking nightmare of getting that done was unbelievable, and it cost damn near $2,000 to get a new TV that'll actually plug in fucking HDMI because my old TV didn't have fucking HDMI, and I had to get a new computer because I needed to have a higher powered computer to really do a lot of the processing and stuff like that and record well, and I needed to get another external hard drive so that I would have space because videos are fucking huge space-wise. Yeah. So it's finally all working, and that makes me happy. But it's weird because like when we do this, the microphone is like 2 feet away from each of us. And we can talk at a relatively normal volume, and it picks us up just fine. But to do the video on my new high-powered beast computer, I have to have the microphone like up my nose just if I can get it to record whenever I say anything that's not really fucking loud. So I had to buy a boom mic stand, and
good thing you got that stand because. Otherwise, you'd have to take the microphone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like it was funny because like every time I would like I bought the capture box, and I was like, sweet, now it'll all work. And then I plugged it into everything, and it wouldn't work because it wouldn't plug into my TV. So I was like, well, fuck. Now I need to get a converter so that I can plug it into the TV. And I searched everywhere for a fucking converter that would convert HDMI into the 5-point composite thing. And I found one, and it was at Radio Shack. So I went to Radio Shack, and they're like, we don't have them because we sell out of those. We get like one a week, and they sell out as soon as they come in. And I'm like, awesome. So I had to track one down, and I had wound up going to 3 different stores. And one of them I went to because the guy told me that they had one the day before. And when I went there, they didn't have it. So they found one at another store, so I had to go to that store, and I found one, and the dude's like, it's probably not going to work. And I'm like, well, it's the only choice I have other than buying a brand new TV. So I would rather pay $35 for something that might work than just say fuck it all and spend $1,000 on a new TV. So I bought it, and I took it home, and it didn't work. So I had to take it back to Radio Shack and return it. And then when I took it back to return it, they're like, do you have the credit card that you put this on? And I'm like, no. So because they have to reswipe it to give the credit. So I had to go back the next day again with the card and turn it in and get it swiped with the card. So that was fun. And then I was like, well, now I have to buy a new TV. And I had a 65-inch Mitsubishi old-ass fucking TV that was great because it was 65 inches, but it sucked because it cut off 3 inches all the way around the screen because the projection wasn't dialed in right or whatever. So I was like, this will be cool. So I was looking around at TVs, and all the TVs were like over $1,000 for a 65-inch TV. And I'm like, well, I don't want to downgrade my screen size because that would just suck. But I went to Best Buy, and they had one for like $800. And I was like, well, that's the fucking cheapest I've ever seen one. So I got that. And I bought a new computer. And that was like $800. So then I get it all plugged in finally, and it's all working. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Now I got to set up to like do commentary. And I set up one of the microphones I have, and I had it sitting like in front of me, you know, reasonable distance away, like we have it right now. And it wasn't fucking picking it up for shit. And I fiddled with it and fiddled with it and fiddled with it and tried to get it to work, and it wouldn't work. So then I had to get a boom mic stand so that I could put the fucking thing right in front of my face. And now everything works. Yay! So that was my adventure with getting all that fucking shit together. And
Sounds like fun stuff to me.
Oh, it was blast. It was blast.
Sounds as fun as the movie we just watched.
Oh God, yeah, we just watched Lucy, and I bought it because I figured it's got to be a good movie, right? Because it's all about.
It looked good.
It looked like a great movie, and I bought it, and I waited for you to come over, and then you didn't come over, and then the next week I had to work, so we didn't do anything. And so this week I was all excited because I was going to get to watch it. I really wanted to watch it. And I waited for you. I didn't watch it by myself, which I guess was a mistake. I could have saved you an hour and a half of your life, but I didn't. But it was weird. Like it was...
It kept looked like it was going to be good, and then it went, no, you know what? I don't want to be good.
Yeah, it a lot of it didn't make a whole lot of sense. And it wasn't the action flick that I was hoping it was going to be.
Yeah, it made it look like a big action flick.
It was boring, like the action, and it was pretty boring. And then it ended, and it was just, it wasn't a good movie. I didn't like it. I give it 1 penis down.
I'm glad your penis wasn't up when we were watching it.
No. And it sucks because Scarlett Johansson's really fucking hot, but it really wasn't. She couldn't even save it with her good looks because it was just such an awful piece of shit of a movie. Didn't like it. Yesterday, though, I was watching Hoarders because they put Hoarders back on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I watched one that fucking I was rolling because they were... There was this lady that she was a hoarder. She wasn't really, she wasn't the worst hoarder I've ever seen. She was still pretty bad. Like, she had a house full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like,
with actual shit, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like she had a bunch of animals and they were shitting all over the place. But she just had crap. It wasn't even really like trash. She just had a whole bunch of just random junk in her house. And, like... You could tell that she wasn't really deep into the psychosis of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was all pretty much on the surface. It was just kind of like something she did.
Yeah.
But she understood that it was bad, and she understood that she didn't want to do it, and she understood that she couldn't live her life like that. So she was all for fixing it, right?
Yeah.
And usually whenever they're pulling stuff out and throwing it away and shit like that, like they get really upset and they get angry and they start freaking out and they have little meltdowns and shit like that. This chick was just like, nope, get rid of it. Nope, I don't care about that. Like she knew what she was doing. She was on fucking task. And her mom the whole time was just like berating her and making it worse and just being a fucking cunt about everything. And she's like, every time that she would pick something up, she would be like, well, why did you keep this? And she's like, I don't know. I kept it because I needed it. And she's like, well, why? And she's like, just being an ass. And then at one point, they're like throwing stuff away. And the mom goes, like, it was the one psychiatrist lady and the hoarder and then her mom. And like they're looking through stuff. And her mom's like, well, you could keep that. You could keep that and you could put that out, in your garden. And the psychiatrist is like, wait a minute. You're trying to talk a hoarder into keeping trash that she doesn't need. And she goes, what's your story? And I went, oh. And the sister of the hoarder, she's like, let's go to mom's house. So she went to her mom's house and took pictures of her house and brought them back. And they're looking at the pictures. And the mom refused to allow them to put pictures on, the show. But I guess the mom is a hoarder too, and she's like, oh, it's because it's all stuff that your mother is, blah. And she started crying, and they're like, you're a fucking hoarder too, and you're telling us about what a piece of shit your daughter is the whole time we're doing this, and you're a fucking hoarder too. It made me laugh. And then there was another dude that was hoarding bunnies, and that was the most fucking surreal thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've seen, because I watch animal hoarders too. And I've seen the ones where it's got like rats and, dogs and cats and fucking shit like that. But this dude had bunnies. He had like 30 bunnies. And it was hysterical to just see all these bunnies just wandering around. It was funny.
I'd love to give you a bunny noise, but I don't have one.
No, the only noise bunnies makes is screams, and it's just horrifying.
I'll give you that.
That's okay. There you go. Uh-huh. And another thing I've been watching is Man vs. Food. Have you ever seen Man vs. Food?
I'm done with food shows. I'm so tired of them.
Well, the thing that I think is funny, like, because when you binge watch a TV show that comes out, every week or whatever, when you binge watch it, it gives you a completely different perspective on what you're watching. Like if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., every episode Coulson's bitching about how he was dead. And every episode is like, I died. And that, like, when you're watching it every week, you don't really focus on that. But when you're watching episode after episode over hours and hours and hours, you start going, yeah, you died. I got it, yeah, We talked about this every episode so far, dude. But, like, Man vs. Food, I'm binge watching that show, and he loses all the time. Like, he wins 1 out of every 6 or 7 shows that he does.
What's he eat? Like hot foods or something?
Well, like, it's like he goes around to restaurants that have these challenges that if you eat 10 of their super hot wings, you get your picture on the wall. He does those, and he loses all the time.
Most people do.
But it's a TV show about a dude doing this. He's, shouldn't you be winning?
I don't know.
He loses all the time. He's always losing. And it makes me laugh every time I watch one because I'm like, okay, you won the last one, but you've lost the next 3. You going to win this one? It's like, oh, no, you're not going to win this one either. It's just sad because he's not really, he's not a competitive eater.
Yeah.
He's just a random dude.
Oh, so it's random dude trying these things.
Yeah, it's random dude trying these things, and he fails all the time. And sometimes he'll be like 3 bites left, and he'll run out of time. And he's sitting there just in pain from all this fucking food he's shoved in his mouth, and he's looking at like the 3 bites that he has left, and he's like, I'm murdering myself slowly, and I lost. This is all I have left.
The only thing I've binge watched recently was that Counts Counting Cars or Custom Cars. Counts Custom Cars. Just a car restoration show.
Yeah. I don't know why they're like the Hoarders. I don't know why that's entertaining to me, but for some reason I can watch. The past 2 days I've watched probably 10 episodes of the shit.
I used to watch the ones that they go to Storage Wars.
Yeah, I love watching
How
those.
fake that show is.
Yeah, really fake.
And then I don't even care about the show anymore.
Yeah.
I thought it was cooler until I found out it was fake.
Yeah, it's really fake. But yeah. I don't really have anything else. You want to start news?
I can't think of anything else I watched recently.
I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
The new one.
Yeah.
Fucking Megan Fox, dude. Her face is a hit.
I never thought she was that attractive.
I used to think she was hot, but apparently she's gotten all sorts of like plastic surgery. Like she's had her cheeks done and her lips done and her nose done and all this shit. So now she looks
Plastic.
well, she looks like that weird old lady. You know what I mean? That you look at and you go, "Oh, why did you do that to yourself?" Like she looks like that, and she's like 25 or whatever. So I don't get her problem, but oof, she just looks awful now.
Spending a lot of time with my mom, so I got caught up on all the reality shows.
Yeah.
All the housewife shows.
God,
I'm breaking it down like this is what's gonna happen next.
My parents tried to get me to watch this TV show where I guess like they take random families and they have them watch those types of shows, and you watch their reaction to them watching TV. And I'm sitting there watching. They made me watch this fucking show, and I'm like I'm doing a Regan bit. I'm watching people watch TV. Like, why am I watching people watch TV? Why don't I just watch TV? Because you don't really even watch the TV show. Like, they'll show 10 seconds of a scene, but 90% of the show you're watching other people talk about watching TV.
Well, it's supposed to be like Mystery Science Theater, except you actually kind of watch the movies.
Yeah.
Because you had to see what they were making fun of.
Dude, we got to see if we can get on that. That would be hysterical. The two of us watching awful TV.
You can't post it anywhere.
Probably not, no. Well, no, it would be cool if we could get on that TV show.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be fun.
Or we can watch stuff and have the cameras pointed at us.
Yeah.
So they don't know we're watching as we tear into it.
That would be. I wish we would have done that with Lucy. That would have been funny.
I had Lucy in the Sky running through my head the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't play that song once. I think it would have fit.
Nothing fit in that movie. Not one thing.
See, it would have fit.
The only good thing about that movie was that Morgan Freeman earned himself another freckle.
That's your TV's fault.
Yeah. Let's see. Usually we start off with something heartwarming. So I've got a heartwarming story.
Okay.
To start off with. Massachusetts toddler dies after lice treatment goes awry.
I'm out.
What?
No, fuck it, I'm out.
An 18-month-old girl. She had lice. So her family, instead of getting, lice shampoo and those little combs and actually like fixing the lice, they decided that
little combs?
Yeah, you get those little combs with the really close together teeth.
I better shave my head.
Well, yeah. You're a boy. It's a girl. It's an 18-month-old girl.
Like there was an option?
Yeah. But yeah, they put her to bed with mayonnaise. They put mayonnaise on her head, and then they wrapped her head in a plastic bag.
Okay.
So
I can see where it's going.
rolling around in the night, an 18-month-old, she suffocated from the fucking plastic bag. Yeah. So
Well, I have one question. Is that a viable treatment?
I don't think so. It does. I mean, there's home remedies,
Okay, I'm gonna query this into the internet.
but like, even if that's a home remedy, even if that works,
Oh my God, it shows right up.
wouldn't you think that, hey, maybe it's a bad idea to wrap my kid's head in a plastic bag and then put them to bed for the night?
I don't know, how does an 18-month-old, like, not even at school, get lice? The parents are already, in my opinion.
Because they're probably dirty people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not that bright in the first place.
Or
I got lice because I put on some kid's hat in school, like 4th grade.
Or I got lice from my girlfriend. Dirty people.
Well, you're not supposed to use your head when you go down.
No, lice, not crabs.
I'm sorry.
But I guess if you take your kid to daycare, I don't know.
Right,
Do they take 18-month-olds
I have
to
no idea.
daycare?
I thought it was 3-4-year-olds.
Well, we like to work off of a basis of ignorance, so we'll just say daycare. Daycare. We're like those people that wrap their kids' heads in fucking plastic bags. Oh my God, we're those people.
I wouldn't do that.
I would, but not if they had lice. Just because it would be fun.
Well, I looked up the Mayo thing just now, and the first page is how to use mayonnaise to treat head lice.
Well, does it say wrap it in a plastic bag?
Well, I haven't gone that far. I'm just looking at the titles.
Or is it just slather yourself with mayo? Will Miracle Whip work in the same way, or does it have to be mayonnaise? Because that's another good question, because I never have mayonnaise. All I ever have is Miracle Whip. I think I should know. I just shave my head. I can't wait for winter to be over so that I can shave my head again. Because I hate having all this hair. Fucking feel like a hippie.
I always feel so much better when I have less hair.
I don't want to do it in the wintertime because it's cold.
Where at?
So I usually shave my head when it starts to get cold. And then I let it grow all winter. And then I shave it again all summer long. I can't wait to shave my head. And you can see my bald spot.
It's not that bad. It's got worse over the years.
It's
about the same.
Well, it's because my hair is long. If my hair was a little bit,
you've had that forever.
If
it's about the same.
If it was a little bit, and I'm getting thin up front, I'm starting to notice that. So I'm going legitimately bald, which makes me kind of happy. Like, I've always been the type of person that, like,
Me too.
You're supposed to go to the dentist to get your teeth checked, and you're supposed to clean them really good and brush your teeth all the time. And I would rather just have all my teeth pulled out and have fake teeth, because then I wouldn't have to deal with it.
I don't even want to talk about teeth. I'm pissed off about that whole situation.
Uh-oh. What's going on with your teeth?
Oh, my entire family has bad teeth, and I decided as a kid I'd be smart and brush my teeth like 3 times a day.
And it doesn't make a difference.
Floss makes no fucking amount of difference.
Yeah, my parents have horrible teeth, so do I. Like, my teeth are weak. Like, I used to chew on hard candy all the time, and then my teeth started cracking and breaking, and I realized it's because I chew hard candy, so I can't chew hard candy anymore. So, yeah, that kind of sucks, but whatever. None of them have cracked or broken any since I stopped chewing on hard candy. So that was the solution. You ready for your next one?
Next one? I haven't had one yet.
Well, are you ready for your next? You had more than a many a story.
I don't. Like I said, I thought we talked about this before. I don't really want to read this article, but I want to talk about the article itself.
All right.
The subject in the article.
What is the article?
I guess gamers who post videos on like YouTube and Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's
My penis does that.
It's a trend
Switches.
now when they're
It goes booga 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 booga.
How?
My YouTube twitches.
Okay. When they're doing live streams, people are pranking now. It's a new prank.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how people think this is funny or even smart.
They get on their webcam and show their penis twitching.
No.
Booga booga booga.
While these gamers are playing their games on their Let's Plays, people calling SWAT teams are calling the police and getting the SWATs into their house.
Getting the SWATs into their house?
Getting the SWAT team into their house. Like, getting them arrested. How fucking stupid is that?
Well, your phone calls are going to get traced, and they're going to come pick you up for falsifying a police report and all that kind of stuff. Plus, somebody's going to die sooner or later.
Yeah, and that's going to be horrible.
People are stupid nowadays, man. I've always had the personality of the things I do on purpose because it makes me laugh. Like, I could care less if anybody else. Like this show. After 20 episodes, which we're at right now, we're at 20 episodes, and 18 of them were posted, and we have 72 views. And I could care less because I just still have fun doing the show, and it makes me giggle to do the show and listen to them and shit like that. So I'm doing it still, and I'm going to continue to do it. If we never get another view again, I'll still want to do the show just because it's fun. But now people are doing like these horribly stupid things because they think it's funny. But children aren't being raised with the sense of right and wrong. You know what I mean? Like it's I think of it as the same thing as school shootings. They don't know how to deal with themselves. They don't know how to deal with reality. So they just, whatever. Who cares? But, I hope they crack down on them. Fucking start.
Yeah, it's a growing trend from what I'm reading.
And that's why I'm not going to do live streaming.
Can you imagine that?
Because you would do that to me.
You'd get shot.
You're an asshole.
I wouldn't do that.
You would too!
No, I'd come in and shoot you.
Oh, that's cool.
But can you imagine that? You might get shot because you got these headphones on, you're playing a game, and you're not listening to the police.
Yeah, and you're sitting in there screaming, "Die, motherfucker!"
It's just like all these prank. Have you seen these prank guys on YouTube?
I've watched a couple of them. I don't really think that. I don't think they're funny. Cause
there are a couple funny ones, but then you see most times out of them they're just fucking mean.
Well, I still haven't really seen one that I thought was funny. I've seen the ones where the dudes are walking on the street and they call people dicks, and just to get a rise out of people. And I'm like, well.
One of the horrible ones I've seen is these guys dress up as killer clowns, and they wait for someone to come around a corner, and they have a fake body in the ground, and someone slams a hammer on the head of the body, and the head explodes and blood comes out of it. That's not funny.
Yeah.
They did it to this old guy, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna die on camera.
Yeah. Like a lot of them, they're not.
I've seen ones where they're pranking each other, like their friends pranking each other. Those are kind of funny.
You know what? I was watching the TV show when I was at Tommy's bar a couple of weeks ago, and it's these 4 guys, and they wear earpieces, and then off to the wherever they have the other 3 guys, and they have a microphone and a monitor, and they have to the guy that's out there in a department store.
Oh, they tell him to do stuff.
As a clerk, yeah, whatever they say, he's got to say. And some of those were pretty fucking funny. Like there was one where they were working in an art store and they were doing teams. So it was 2 guys, and this black lady walks up to the one dude, and one of the guys off camera, he's like, ask her what her favorite color is. And he's like, "What's your favorite color?" And she goes, "My favorite color is red." And he goes, "You ready? Tell her your favorite color is African American." And he like drops the fucking mic, and the dude goes, "My favorite color is African American." And like she just laughed and walked away. But it was genius. Like I thought it was hysterical.
I mean, some of those pranks can be funny, but they're mostly mean-spirited.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as it's not, I mean, that wasn't, I wouldn't consider that mean-spirited.
No.
It's an embarrassing type of thing. Like, there was one where the dude was in a wedding dress shop, and, you know, a lady comes in to look at wedding dresses with her friend, and they're like, start feeling up the mannequins. And the dude had to go over and feel up the mannequins, and it's just like, you know, they look over, and the chick's like laughing at him, and, you know, he just looks like a doof. But, you know. And it's they're like pushing each other to see how far they'll go. Yeah. There was one where it was a lady was in there with her fiance, and they wanted him to ask her what her first wedding dress looked like, and he wouldn't do it. He's just like, that looks nice on you. So I mean, they go up to the edge, but without really, you know, going over. I think mainly because that dude didn't like the fiance. Wasn't very happy through the whole thing, and he just didn't want to get his ass beat. But those are funny. But for the most part, they're not creative enough. Like I've seen some of the Japanese ones where they rig up a bathroom, like a public bathroom, to where it's like essentially a horror movie, and then people go in there and they lock the door on them and start flashing the lights, and people are coming out looking like they're dead. And those are kind of funny. Sometimes they're kind of funny just to see people freaking out. Like, but for the most part, I like it because you get to see what they're doing. That's kind of cool to me. But they could be utterly staged, and I would still think they're cool videos.
And so I've seen ones where they don't let the people off the hook either. They just let it go.
Yeah, and those are ridiculous. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, prank swatting. Yeah, fucking, is that what they're calling it? Swatting?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So dumb. Well, speaking of pranks, there was a family that I guess their child was really
rambunctious.
Was really like friendly. I would just talk to anybody.
Oh, okay.
So the mother paid one of her coworkers to kidnap her kid and drive him around, with a bag over his head and take him back to his house, parents' house, take him down to the basement and tell him that told him that he's going to be sold into sex slavery. And then after it was the whole severe trauma took place, they then said, no, this was all, fake. But now we're going to lecture you on stranger danger. But there's a couple of points, I think, where they went wrong.
The rape?
No.
The rape was fine.
The guy that kidnapped the kid apparently showed the boy a handgun as he was crying, threatening him. And that, I think, was probably going in the wrong direction. But I think where he really crossed the line was in the basement. He allegedly took off the kid's pants and told him that he would be sold into sex slavery. I think that was probably where it went really bad.
Yeah.
Because when you're taking off a 6-year-old's pants, that's going in a bad direction. And then I think this was just playful. I don't think this was really bad. I think this is just kind of a playful thing. Apparently he jerked him off. No, that's not true. But yeah.
We didn't know our neighbor was a pedophile.
Yeah, so that's a funny prank. I think that should happen more often. You got another story?
He's gonna be Talking to shrinks the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, probably. Terrified of everybody else in the world. That's really good. He's gonna be a fucking.
Well, let's go kind of light then.
Oh goody! I know what happens when we go light.
Woman with service kangaroo named Jimmy has to leave McDonald's.
She had a service kangaroo. Dude, these people in their fucking service animals. Have you like? I've heard a bunch of stories about this shit.
This kangaroo?
No, people with service animals like trying to get.
Oh yeah. Right.
Fucking. There was one university. I don't remember where the fuck it was, but there was this chick and she had a hamster, or it was a guinea pig. She had a guinea pig, and she wanted to take it into the dining room, campus dining room with her. And they're like, you can't take a rodent into the campus dining room. And she's like, but it's my comfort animal. Like, it's still a rat, you know, essentially. Can't have that little fucker running around everywhere. But like, what are you gonna do when you have to go to a job interview? You gonna take your fucking guinea pig in with you? You think they're gonna look at you like, I want to hire the chick with the guinea pig? She'll be a great employee. Like,
well, she's got doctors. This woman has stuff on the doctors to prove it.
And kangaroos are dangerous, man. Like, they're very cute.
It's a baby kangaroo.
It doesn't matter. What is she gonna do when the thing grows up?
Teach the box.
Put it in a Tekken tournament?
Call Mike Tyson up to train him.
Well, okay, I guess kangaroos are cool then. Turn me around. What the fuck was the kangaroo in Tekken? Fuck. Roger. Or was Roger the lizard? Because it was the lizard or the kangaroo. I think Roger. Yeah, Roger Jr. Yeah, sure. Roger was the fucking kangaroo. That is not a kangaroo noise.
Closest thing I got.
How is that close to a kangaroo noise? That sounds like somebody burping. It's a monkey. There is nothing really close to a kangaroo. Like, what would even be close to a kangaroo? There's nothing that would be close to a kangaroo. That's close to a kangaroo. Bears. Bears are really close to kangaroos.
That was a lion.
Well, lions are pretty close to kangaroos. They have the same color fur. What the fuck is that?
It's a camel.
Oh, yeah, that would be a camel. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the enemy of the camels. He punches them in all the movies. So
he apologized in the second one.
That's true, and then he fucking knocked it out again. Hey, I'm sorry. It did spit on him though. I mean, even in hockey, you get 2 minutes for instigating. I've got a story that I think could help you.
Okay.
Woman experiences unexpected rapid weight gain after fecal transplant procedure.
Okay, how's this going to help me?
Well, you have problems with your weight. So, maybe if we can find like an anorexic chick, or maybe a bulimic, or somebody like that.
I poop in her mouth?
No, they can take their poop and put it in you so that you get all of the bacteria of their poop, and maybe that'll help you slim down.
I think I'll pass.
But no, I think we should really consider.
No.
I think we should really consider putting somebody else's poop in you.
I'll pass.
Well, it's a procedure that they do now to help people out because it helps to combat diseases. So maybe as a show bit, we should get somebody to take my poop and put it in you.
I'll pass.
Maybe we can just get a PVC pipe.
You couldn't pay me enough.
We'll insert one side into you, and then I'll poop through the other side.
How about you just poop and put both ends on, one in your mouth,
We'll just rub butts.
one in your ass.
We'll just
No.
connect assholes. We'll dock assholes.
No, this is not centipede.
Human centipede in reverse, sort of. But she gained like 40 pounds in.
You know what she could have done instead?
What?
Ate some steak.
Well, no. See, what they needed to do was they needed to take her daughter's poop and put it inside of her.
I'm not putting anyone's poop in anyone.
16 months and she gained like 40 pounds.
If you want someone pooping you, you can have it.
I don't want somebody's pooping me. I want somebody else's pooping you.
It's not going to happen.
But it's for the show.
No.
Aww.
You couldn't pay me enough.
Man.
As I choked to death.
That's bullshit. That's what that is. You got another one?
Sure. There's the show over.
Oh, we're still going.
EA comes up with an ingenious, sleazy new way to milk money from gamers.
Oh, this is my cold article. All right. Hit me. What are they doing now? I mean, they already... Hold on. Let's go through the list first. They already force you to either buy the game new so that you can get a code in order to get online with it, or you have to pay $5 if you buy it used to get the code to get access to it online. So that's first. They shut down their servers for a game when the next game comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now it's 2015.
Right.
All the 2015 games came out last year.
Right.
So this year, when all the 2016 games come out, they shut down all the servers for the 2015 games to force you to buy the new game to be able to even play it online. What are they doing now?
Well, you're also forgetting putting everything on the disc.
Oh yeah, they put all
actually own everything on the disc, and then they pay you.
But you have to buy a key to unlock the fucking downloadable content.
Well, there's more stuff too.
What is this new thing? I can't even fathom what it would possibly be. I can't even guess.
They have a new Need for Speed game coming out.
Uh-huh.
Can you guess what you have to buy now? With real money.
Cars?
No. You have to buy the gas to run the cars.
You're shitting me.
Shitting you.
So you have to pay real world money to buy gas to power your virtual car.
Yeah. There is an option. You can always wait for the tank to fill up on its own.
Well, that's going to make it tough in the 20th lap of the fucking Indy 500. Because it could take weeks. How long does it take to fill up on its own?
Say.
Well, okay. Now, gas prices are a concern in this day and age. So I gotta wonder.
There's no price.
It doesn't say how much gas is going to be. Is it going to be like $2 a gallon? Or is it going to be like reasonable prices? Is it going to be 1990s prices, 2000s prices, or is it going to be like 1960s prices? We paying 10 cents a gallon?
This is an app game, but this kind of stuff is filling in to regular games. So I guess the new Assassin's Creed, you have to buy stuff to level now. When I'm reading.
Really? Dude, they're gonna make it to where I don't want to play games anymore.
Yeah, I'm already at that point. I'm like, I don't even think I care about the new stuff. I might just go PC only.
And the saddest thing is that shit is gonna go over. Well, like people will do it.
Yeah.
Because they're just stupid. I can't wait for a Steam box to come out.
Games are getting worse and worse.
They really need to figure out the Steam box because, god damn it, this is just getting to be horse shit.
They need to go back to PlayStation 2. No one has beaten their numbers ever.
Yeah, dude, I would have never in a million years. I could understand cars. I could understand levels. That was going to be my next guess. You have to purchase the levels,
which already happened. It's already happened.
but to have to buy gasoline. And like I play like Candy Crush. Like I play both versions of Candy Crush now. I play the old one and I play the new soda one. And I've never spent 1 cent on either of those games, and I still have fun with them.
Uh-huh.
Like the one that made me laugh was the Spartacus game for Xbox, the free one.
Yeah.
Like you can buy gold, but everything that you can buy with gold, if you just take the time to level up, then you get access to it to where you don't have to spend gold on it. You can spend the actual in-game currency. But like in Destiny, they have daily fucking little things that you can do.
Yeah.
And if you do those, the reward for almost all of them is gold. Like you get, a couple gold pieces here, a couple gold pieces there. So
it's for instant gratification.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody does it. I don't think anybody uses it. And there's really no need for it because I was playing that game hot and heavy for like 2 days straight. And I made so much gold that I didn't care about gold anymore. So it was just like the aspect of it was just to make extra money, but you didn't need it to have fun with the game. That I'm cool with.
I ended up with like 4 or 5 fighters, and you have to spend gold pieces on those guys. I know something about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you make so much gold.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like you can make so much gold doing the daily stuff.
Nowadays, every game when it comes out, you might as well just say it's beta.
Yeah. Well, that like Stranded Deep, and
well, they come right out and say, hey.
Exactly, but I kind of like that shit better because when you're game testing a game, you have X amount of people doing it, 5, 10, maybe 20 people at most, that are playing through the game, and they're just kind of playing through the game to see what is wrong with the mechanics of the game. They're not playing the game to the degree that most people play video games.
Yeah. So
they're missing a lot of it. They're missing the dragons flying backwards and all that kind of horse shit because, in Skyrim, they're playing the game mechanic stuff. They're doing missions. They're doing shit like that. That they're probably never fighting dragons because they fight one and go, he worked, and then they never, dragon comes out and they just ignore the fucking thing because they're fast traveling probably from one city to another. So if you put out a game like they're doing with Stranded, it's raw, it's horribly buggy, but you've got a couple thousand people playing it, and they're playing it like gamers play games.
And they're actually listening to emails.
And they're listening to the feedback on the forums, and they're fixing things and adding things that people suggest and doing this and that and the other thing. So
well, they had an update after 2 days.
Yeah. Like they update the thing constantly. So I like that. I like that kind of aspect to it. I like those kind of games. Like Starbound is another one. They did that. They released the beta for everybody.
You gotta be careful. Some of the gamers or some of the developers are trying to screw you.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, you just pay for it and then they don't do anything with it. Yeah. Well, like, I don't get, you look at the games and see, how they're rated and what people are saying about it, and everybody's like, why aren't you guys doing anything with this? I'm not going to get it,
Yeah.
So, having the forums helps if you're being legitimate, and it hurts you if you're not, so.
And then you got the big games that don't listen to anyone.
Yeah.
We'll fix this when we get around to it. Or...
Yeah. I still don't have my fucking skins that I unlocked playing that stupid poker game. Borderlands 2. That pisses me off.
Oh, I read something
about
Destiny. It's on their wiki page. They wrote this email to the community, I guess, stating they didn't think people would get that upset about the reward system. They had no plans to fix it at the time. But now they're well, they feel that there's nothing wrong with the reward system, but they're fixing it. It's like they're talking out of both sides of their mouth in this letter.
See, the reward system is fucking horseshit. But at the same time, you play the game enough, and everything becomes useless. Like, that's what upsets me about it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, everything you're trying to collect now, in a week or two, you're not going to give two
I
shits
already
about.
filled most of my guns and worthless.
Yeah. So it's like...
Even though I gotta check out Bad Juju, they supposedly fixed it.
Fixed it.
I didn't like it. I don't know. They raised the rate of fire and gave it more impact or something.
Yeah.
But all auto rifles, they lowered all the impact and rate of fire.
On auto rifles?
On auto rifles.
Which already the impact on those is fucking...
And same thing with shotguns. They said that the shotguns are powerful. People were bitching about that, so they're lowering them too.
Yeah. That game has so much potential, and they're just not doing it. Yeah, I don't care for that game too much anymore. I'll still play it because it is still fun. It's fun to play with you and shit like that, but for the most part, it's like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And now with the expansion, everything's on the moon. So you're doing, there's 5 different planets that you can go to, and now there's only really one because they don't care enough about the other planets because they're not pushing the fucking downloadable shit. It's just fucking...
Supposedly, this when it first came out, you're supposed to play it for 10 years. Supposed to have a 10-year lifespan.
Dude, that game didn't have a 10-month lifespan.
And they are already announcing Destiny 2.
I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't bother. They did such a horrible job at the first one. They would have to really impress me with the second one. Masturbation news. Former Cuyahoga Falls mayor says he's running for Stowe Muni Court clerk's post. We did on the 4th or 5th show when we had Brandon on, we talked about the Cuyahoga Falls mayor that they found porn on his computer. Well, apparently he wants to run for different offices. Apparently he wants to run for the Senate at some point. I figure that he spent, this time at home now, and his wife probably doesn't like him to look at porn, so now he has to get a new job to where he can be out of the house to look at porn.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Just getting his work done.
Hey.
And fapping, I don't care.
Fuck it, man. Fap to the numbers. Do the damn thing. Your turn.
Dad arrested for giving cannabis oil to daughter with cancer.
Those stories just piss me off.
I'd actually like to read this one.
Ooh. You gonna read the whole article?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Then I'm gonna try and read.
The father of a 2-year-old with late-stage cancer is facing jail time for using cannabis oil in an attempt to ease his daughter's suffering. When Adam Kolesar, 2-year-old daughter, Rumor Rose, was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma recently.
Neuroblastoma?
Yeah. He began supplementing her chemo treatments with doses of cannabis oil.
Doses?
That's what it says.
You said doses.
Doses. Seeing amazing...
He started using a dowsing rod. He was beating her about the head with it.
I'm not listening yet. And he was seeing amazing results.
Of course.
He lives in Australia where medical marijuana is illegal. He was arrested January 2nd for his efforts. He was released on bail but now faces charge for possession of dangerous drugs and supplying them to a minor. And due back in court on Friday. The situation has outraged thousands around the world who have signed online petitions and raised money in support of the single dad. He's a father doing whatever possible to save his child. Let him go, writes one of the supporters. It's sad.
It is sad. Like, I watched I guess you could call it a documentary on TV where they were talking about the purely medicinal oils that they make now. And I guess from what this thing said, there's the THC, which is the fun part. That's the part that makes you feel good and goofy and, makes everything in the world just better. And then there's another chemical in cannabis called CBD.
Yes.
And the reason why cannabis has become more and more potent with the THC and it gets you higher and higher and higher is because when they fuck with these plants at the genetic level and they crossbreed them and shit like that, they're breeding out the CBD and the plants are creating more THC to make up the loss.
Okay.
So that's how the plants are getting more potent. But they found out that the CBD is actually what it is that gives it its medicinal properties. So they figured out a way to synthesize or extract or whatever you want to do the CBD into the oils, and that's what people use. And they showed families that had kids with that would suffer from epilepsy, get seizures and shit like that. And they said that one family said that their kid would have like 100 seizures a day, just constantly, all day long, just seizure after seizure after seizure. And the more they gave her this CBD oil, the seizures lessened and lessened and lessened to the point where now, after a couple of months on it, she went from having hundreds a day to having dozens. So I mean, it cut the seizure probabilities way down.
Over 80%.
Yeah. So, they're finding that the shit helps people, but like stem cells, it's still illegal because it's still an illegal chemical because politics, what it all comes down to.
Well, that's what it says in this. The father said when he gave her the oil, there's nothing short of miraculous. Women almost had instant quality of life. Her skin color came back. Her eyes are sparkling again.
Yeah. No matter how many factual examples, it still comes down to politics and just the stigma that weed has had since the fucking 40s. It's just
sickening.
It's sickening. It is. The company I work at, they do random testing now, and I can go out and get drunk off my ass and come into work hungover. Sometimes I've gone back into work still drunk from the night before, and that's fine. Nobody cares. I'm intoxicated. Nobody gives a shit because alcohol is legal. I can smoke weed and go into work, and the next day I'm fine, perfectly fine, no problems, no hangover, no, additional effects from it from the night before. That's not good because just bullshit. It's utter bullshit. But hopefully, I guess there's some sports people that have started working with the people that are trying to legalize weed in Ohio. So there might actually be a halfway decent chance this year of actually getting it on the ballot. But then people have to actually go and vote for it.
Yeah.
And because Ohio is so split down the middle, which is the reason why Ohio is always such an important state for the presidential races and shit like that, because our state is essentially 50-50.
Yeah.
But because of that, getting it passed is going to be a bitch.
Yeah.
But, never know. Come November, end of November, we could be having a very happy show. I don't know. I would prefer them though to legalize it medicinally, because if you legalize it medicinally, if you get a prescription, there ain't shit they can do to you about it. Or you work and shit like that.
I'm pretty much guaranteed it. I know. I don't think my doctor would say no.
No, well, with the way that it works now in California, you go to a doctor and you say, I have arthritis, and they go, well, we know something that'll help you with that. Give us $150, and then you get your green card.
Yeah.
So I'm down with that. I think that's a good solid investment. And then you can walk around with 2 pounds of weed.
In your ass.
In your ass. Where every good adventurer keeps their gear. Well, I got weed news since you are going that direction. The marijuana industry in Colorado, they're having a problem out there because while weed is legal in the state, and it's legal for sale and consumption, it's still not federally legal. So because banks are federal institutions, no bank will touch any money that comes from the sale of marijuana. So these companies are getting these safes, essentially, and just keeping all of their money on site in safes, and that's not good. Exactly. That's not a good thing, because that's just going to cause problems. So there's a group of people that want to start a credit union to give them the option to have a banking system. But apparently, in order to start a credit union, you have to have your money put into a federal bank. So that still ties it back into the federal government. They won't take the startup capital. And it's not even like an insurance thing. It's not like they're trying to get their money insured through the FDIC.
Yeah.
They need to have their capital in a federal bank in order to even start the bank to begin with.
Can't they go to existing credit unions?
I don't think so. I don't think that you can start a credit union by putting your capital into a different privately owned credit union. I think it has.
No, like I don't use a bank. I use a credit union.
Yeah, but
they do that.
There, like I said, I don't think that you can put your startup capital into a credit union. It has to tie itself to the federal government one way or another. Like you still have to be regulated.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the government saying we won't take your money and store it because we know that you want to start a bank to have people put their drug money in it. Like, so there's so many problems that would just not be a problem.
Yeah.
If they would just legalize fucking weed. Because, like, I know the argument is, well, kids are going to be able to do it then. Kids are still doing it now. But they're dealing with shady, underhanded fucking people. At least if it was a store. Like, how many beer dealers did you deal with when you were a kid? They were always just older kids. But it wasn't like you walked into a house and there was, a 24-pack of beer and a dude came at you with a gun in his belt because he's protecting his beer stock. Like...
I only got one drug dealer story, and it's probably similar to everyone else's, sort of.
What's that? I want to hear it.
I never told you this story?
I don't know.
Guy I was buying from, he goes, I need you to go with me this time. I just need someone to go with me.
Oh, that's fun.
He just begged me. I finally said yes.
Do you just hate the fact that you're like 6'8"?
Yeah. He's like, don't be cool because his wife's there and he's got a kid. It's nothing bad's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I get there and there's a fucking gun on the table, and I'm like, his kid's 2 feet from it, and I'm like,
yeah.
And his wife's talking to me, and she's like telling me she's a prostitute, and if I had the extra money, we can go in her bedroom right now. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, gun. No.
So did you fuck her?
No.
Why not?
She was going to work anyway.
Well, She wanted to start work early.
I guess. So we're sitting there for like hours because he didn't have it. Because the guy he got it from wasn't showing up.
Oh,
so he's wrestling with his kid and actually using wrestling moves on the kid. Like the stuff you say don't do at home.
Yeah.
He was fucking dropping his kid on his head. I'm sitting there like, oh my god, he's going to kill this kid.
That's just a bad situation to be. And there you go. You don't do that when you're fucking 15 trying to get beer. You find a senior with a fake ID and he just goes into the store and buys it and gives it to you.
And he keeps change.
Yeah, I mean it's so many problems will be solved. So many problems will be solved.
I always stay away from the dealer as far as I can.
Dude, I want to have at least 10 other people between me and them. I mean, you know, hypothetically, if I was still doing that sort of thing, which I'm not at all.
Am I.
Exactly. What do you got next?
I'm pretty much done unless you want to go over the cast of the GB.
Well,
we can talk about the Super Bowl that's been passed.
Dude, I don't really think I care. Like,
I wasn't even following it this year, but I even know that you give the ball to the beast on the 1 yard line.
I just don't think, I don't care. Like, I really don't have an opinion about it. The Bengals weren't in it.
Yeah.
So I don't care. My team, not in the fucking playoffs really, even past the first round, so.
We can talk about the Browns falling apart.
Oh, because everybody's either fucking
leaving or
drinking or smoking weed and nobody can play. Yeah.
Their best wide receiver's out for another year. Supposedly no one explained him the drug rules again. Offensive coach left. Their star quarterback leaving.
You mean I can't smoke weed in the off season too? Okay, well before you said I'm not allowed to smoke weed, but it was during the season, so I just assumed that meant during the season. Oh,
you mean I can't smoke weed when I'm suspended either?
I feel like such a dummy. Well, I guess I'll take another fucking year off work.
And their wonder boy Johnny Manziel is in rehab now.
Yeah, he's drunk. I don't really even buy that. I think that he was out too openly about his partying. Mm-hmm. Like he wasn't really low key with it. You know, there was always pictures of him with fucking whores and booze and everything. So I think that he got that social stigma of, does he have a problem? Because all we see are pictures of him drinking. Yeah. So he obviously has a problem. Well, that's all the pictures that the fucking news is putting out there, because otherwise, you know, they're not going to take pictures of him just crossing the street.
Actually, looks like he's growing up.
Yeah.
Because they lost Brian Hoyer.
Did they lose him?
I don't think he's coming back. So Manziel's going to be number one. And the team doesn't trust him because he's a little kid.
Yeah. But he's doing he's 21 years old. He's doing what 21-year-olds do. They drink way too much. He doesn't have the discipline.
And he's rich.
And he's rich as fuck. So it doesn't surprise me. And I think it's all just a political, look what we're doing type of a thing. And I don't think it fucking
that entire team's fucked.
Yeah.
They should just fold it.
I
know that's gonna be unpopular for you to say that, but
it's gonna be another fun season. Listening to Browns games while I'm at work. I'm gonna love it.
I'm tired of it. I mean, I used to be the biggest Browns fan in the world.
Well, I think, all right, here's my plan for the Browns. I think what they need to do is
hire Tim Tebow.
No. they need to draft themselves a really, really good quarterback out of the draft. Like they need to get a number 1 pick. They need to trade whatever it is that they need to trade to get a number 1 draft pick, and then they need to draft like the 4th best quarterback in the draft, right? And then you got your quarterback covered.
The one that has to prove the most.
Yeah, but they need to keep at least 2 of the quarterbacks they have right now, and then they need to just sign, just a free agent quarterback, right? And then they need to have the entirety of the off-season, preseason stuff, and at least the first 2 games of the season has to be where the quarterbacks are fighting for their job. But here's the kicker. They need to fire their head coach and get an entirely new one. Because that way they'll have a fresh perspective.
I think he's out too.
Well, good. They'll have a fresh perspective. They'll have a brand new playbook. Everybody can take as much time as they can to learn the new playbook. They need to get a coach with a completely different strategy than any other coach they've ever had. And I think they'll really go far if they do that.
I think what they need to do is what you said, and then clean house too. I'd get rid of all the old baggage.
Like who?
Anyone that's not playing up the NFL speed, which is the entire team.
I was gonna say, so they're gonna keep 2 people, get a whole new team.
It worked for Major League.
No, it didn't. They fucking lost in the playoffs.
They still got to the playoffs.
Yeah, they got to the playoffs.
They lost getting to the World Series.
Yeah, they lost getting to the World Series. They lost in the playoffs.
But that happened off camera.
Well,
You don't find out.
Show that.
You don't find out until Major League 2. They get into the playoffs and then lose in the playoffs. They don't show you that.
What was the fucking sports show that I watched where they worked really hard to win and then they still lost in the end? But it was like, I can't even remember what fucking movie that was. I was laughing my ass off.
A sports team?
It was one of those sports movies.
Replacements.
Was it Any Given Sunday? I think it was Any Given Sunday. They did all this work to get into the playoffs, and then they didn't make it into the playoffs.
No, they made it in the playoffs but lost in the first round.
Something like that, yeah. There isn't even happy endings in sports movies nowadays.
Same thing happened in Replacements.
Yeah. Ugh.
Keanu Reeves got to the playoffs and then they kicked him out and then they lost.
All right. Well, I've got one more story. It's the surprise story.
All right.
Are you excited?
Should I leave for this?
Huh?
Should I leave for this?
No, you shouldn't leave for this. This story is from the Furry News Network. Furry News!
Okay.
We haven't had Furry News in how long?
A little while.
Since like the 3rd episode. There was a chlorine leak at the Hyatt Regency during the Midwest Fur Fest, deemed intentional. 19 people were hospitalized. There was a furry convention, and everybody was staying at the Hyatt, and somebody took a box of powdered chlorine, took it into the stairwell, and busted it open, and people got sick. And they had to be rushed to the hospital. 19 people had to be rushed to the hospital.
That sucks.
So
they're doing their own thing. They're not bothering.
I know. Isn't that bullshit? Fucking assholes. So I imagine that all of the vets were full up with 19 people getting sick. I think that whoever it was that did it, they should be charged with animal cruelty to the full extent of the law. I think Michael Vick should come out and talk about what a horrible thing it was.
Is it a sex crime too?
I don't think any of the animals were fingered.
Okay.
But all that chlorine in the stairwell, they were certainly fucked.
Mm.
There you go, furry news. Back in the fucking saddle again. Do you have anything else?
No, not really.
No?
If you want to talk about the Ghostbusters cast, that's it.
Oh! Who's gonna be in Ghostbusters?
No one.
Alright! Well, that was worth it. Find it! Motherfucker.
Ghostbuster cast revealed.
Yay! Peter Venkman
Is not in it.
What?
I don't know.
I know Egon won't be in it.
Bringing back the franchise with a twist. The team is all female.
What? It's gonna be girls?
Yeah.
This is gonna be a hot movie.
And they don't list their fucking names.
It's gonna be like a spooky version of Sex in the City. Sex in the City, but with ghosts. Ghosts in the city having sex. Come on, who's in it?
Someone named McKinney and Jones, and they're both working on SNL. They don't give their, I don't know if that's their first names. McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy?
No, it's another McCarthy.
Oh, the fat McCarthy?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Ugh.
This is a horrible article. They don't even list their fucking names.
Well, I'm glad that you read it and brought it to the show. Do you just look at the fucking...
I read it. I must have pulled up the wrong one.
You just look at the headline.
No, I don't. I read it.
And then you go, oh, this will be great. And then you fucking come here, and then you go, oh, there's this.
Shut up.
And all I have is the headline. No details. Dead air.
Shut up. Well, keep fucking talking. I'm looking.
Dude, I can only fucking pump this show with so much joy.
Keep pumping.
No, I'm old.
Female cast starring Christine Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, or McCarthy,
Fat lady.
Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones.
Don't know any of those people except for Melissa McCarthy.
2 of them are skinny and 2 of them are...
Plus size ladies?
Yes.
Big and beautiful? One of them's black?
Yeah.
Of course. You gotta have fucking Winston.
I don't know. Oh, that's true. But what these women do, I have no idea.
Apparently they're actresses.
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen them in anything.
I know who Melissa McCarthy is. She's been in movies. She was very popular for a while.
Wasn't she in that movie with
Jason Bateman?
The Speed Chick?
Oh, yeah, she was in a movie with her.
Married to Jesse James.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. The girl from Speed.
She was in Demolition Man.
Yeah. Miss Congeniality. I can name 20 movies that she was in, but I can't remember her name. She was in Gravity, which was an awful fucking movie.
I actually had to explain to my mom why Demolition Man was a great movie.
Why would you have to explain that?
She never saw it.
It's a fucking great movie. It's just a great movie.
Keanu Reeves. That's it.
Keanu Reeves was in Speed with Sandra Bullock. That's her name, Sandra Bullock. See, when I edit this, I'm going to edit you saying Sandra Bullock out, so it sounds like I came up with it.
Good.
But I'll leave that part in so that everybody knows that I cheated. Yeah, Sandra Bullock. She was in that movie. It was like The Heat or something like that. I know the name of the movie, but I couldn't think of Sandra Bullock's name. Ugh, sad. Was that it? Just the four of them?
Yeah. What do you think?
It's gonna be all chicks.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm gonna want to watch it. Like, and that's not really a sexist comment. I just think it's gonna be a shitty movie.
Don't think it's gonna work.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Too late.
I think it's the time period. You know what I mean? Like the first movie was great because it came out in kind of like that golden age of really funny stuff. And the second movie was okay because that one they kind of beat you over the head with special effects. They made the ghosts look really good and shit like that. So this one's gonna be that. Now that I know that this Melissa McCarthy chick, her and Will Ferrell are in the same category of not funny to me. You know what I mean? They're just that overblown, just stupid shit that I don't think that's funny. People just screaming noises and saying just retarded things.
You see, he made the news recently.
I don't care. What did he do?
Well, they were putting in the news basically that he hit an NBA cheerleader in the face with a basketball at a basketball game.
Yeah.
And to come find out it was a stunt, it was actually a scene from a movie. But they put it out there as news that he was drunk on the court. So for about a week, everyone thought he hit a cheerleader in the face with a basketball. And they just let it go.
That's not funny.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get Will Ferrell. I don't get that style of comedy. And that's what that Melissa McCarthy chick does. She does that kind of shit. I think that that's gonna that direction. If they're gonna go in that direction, I think that's just gonna ruin the movie. I think it's gonna be crap.
Well, I guess Dan Aykroyd is an executive producer on it.
Is he writing it again?
It just says...
It was him and Harold Ramis that wrote the first two.
Yeah.
Harold's dead now.
Oh, yeah, writing credits, Dan Aykroyd. And it says Harold Ramis, too. But I don't know.
Well, he might have written some of it before he died. Or, since it is Ghostbusters, he could be helping him write it right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that they're going to write it in today's stupid fucking humor. And I think it's going to be a crap movie.
Yeah, Christina Wiggs from Saturday Night Live.
Of course she is. I don't know who that is, though.
Melissa McCarthy. She's done a bunch of stuff. Kate McKinney. Saturday Night Live. Leslie Jones. Saturday Night Live.
So they've taken all the females that are on Saturday Night Live and thrown them with Melissa McCarthy. Yeah, I don't.
Now, if they were doing what they remember when the game came out, they said this is a prequel to the third movie. Remember?
Yeah.
The fourth movie was supposed to be in.
The game was fun.
Yeah. The rookie was supposed to be the new Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to expand from the rookie from the video game. Kind of passing the torch.
Yeah. Wasn't the kid from the second movie? He was supposed to be a Ghostbuster now too. Oscar. Yeah. Doesn't sound like they're going that direction anymore.
It sounds like they scrapped all that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be crap. I don't expect it to be good. I would be really surprised.
I just don't get the mix or the all female cast. Why? Because it was an all male cast?
Probably because of everything that's going on with the political correctness with women now. They've gone that direction. I guess there was a Super Bowl commercial where they had guys and they're like throw a ball like a girl and they do the fucking thing and run like a girl and they do the floppy armed thing. No, and then they had like a girl and they said run like a girl, but she still kind of had that floppy arm run. And they said now throw like a girl, and she still pretty much threw like a girl. And it was one of those girls can do whatever guys can do thing. The whole different but equal thing, I don't agree with. I think it puts unfair expectations on women. You know what I mean? Because nowadays they're expected to be capable of doing anything that a guy can do, and when they fail in that endeavor, it makes them harder. You know what I mean? And there's a big difference between strength and hard.
Yeah.
You know, hard things, when they bend, they break. Strong things, they bend and flex and recover. So I think it's taking things in a different direction than it needs to go. I think people should accept the fact that people are different, and different just means different.
Yeah.
You know, some people are good at things that other people aren't good at. I'm a horrible fucking swimmer. I sink like a fucking rock when I get in the water. I can't do it. And just because other people can do it, my ex-girlfriend was a great swimmer. She swam like a fish. Didn't make me feel, inferior when I had to fucking hold on to her and she had to swim me across the fucking pond. You know, like I was scared. I was gonna drown. Couldn't do it. I'm a horrible fucking swimmer. What do you want from me?
Why didn't you just stand up?
Because it was deeper than
deep.
that. Yes, it was. It wasn't like we were in a pool, dude. It was deep. Fuck you in your ass. It was deep.
Right. Well, I am a lot taller than you.
You're not that much taller than me.
You said at the beginning of the show I'm 6'8".
Yeah, and that was not even close to how deep that fucking little pond was. But
I walked all the way out to the middle of it, and I still can see
you've
out.
never fucking been there. You're a pussy. But I think that not everybody can do everything that everybody else can do, and you just need to accept that as a fact of life. And you need to find out what you're good at, and you need to be good at that. And forget about the things that you're not good at, because you may never be good at it. Unless you really want to work hard at it, and if that's going to become your life's endeavor, I wish you all the best. I can't play basketball for shit. I would be awful, even on a women's basketball team. I would be the worst fucking player on the team. And I know that, and I'm never going to get good at basketball, because I don't want to. And there are guys that play basketball better, and there are guys that play basketball worse than I do. I'm never going to be a fucking NFL punter. I just can't kick for shit. And I accept these things. And I go,
I was never a good serial killer.
You were a great serial killer. Don't sell yourself short. You still have your freedom, which proves a whole lot in that field. There's a whole lot of serial killers that are sitting in prison right now, and you're right here in front of me.
Well, I never killed anyone. That was my problem.
Well,
I didn't understand the concept. I kept leaving them with a bowl of cereal.
You gotta gear up, you know. You're honing your craft. Someday you'll be that serial killer that everybody will remember.
There's a bowl of Cheerios everywhere.
I'm a horrible child rapist. Can't do it. There's just some things people just can't do. And when you focus on that and say, well, everybody else has to come down to my level, now you're getting into the Harrison Bergeron shit. And it's not a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, everybody gets a trophy. And I don't like that. But anyways.
Cheat to win.
Oh, yeah. If you're not cheating, you're not playing hard enough. All right. I think we're done. You got anything else?
Yeah, but we can talk about it another time.
What else do you have? Nothing? Oh, okay. Well, I don't have anything else.
We can make fun of WWE for losing.
No. I don't care about wrestling. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Have a good week or whatever. Bye.
Hello.